What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 14 of High Above Courtside. I'm Anthony. That's Steve. What's going on, brother?
Not too much. A little 3-1 since our last episode. I'll take it. Not too bad. Tough loss to the Cavs, but, doing good.
So, since last episode, Celtics went 3-1. We got a loss to the Cavs. They beat the Nuggets, Blazers, and Sixers. So let's pick up with that Cavs game. What did you? I mean, obviously, two of the favorites in the league. What did you see that leads you to believe the Celtics can win this matchup if it happens in the playoffs?
We got to be healthy. That's the main thing, right? We had no Porzingis. No Drew with that mallet finger, who knows how long it's going to be, even though I did see him in a practice video shooting. So that's good to see. But I think that's really what it is. It's 4 matchups. We didn't have Porzingis for the first one. We still beat them. And then, we didn't have a couple guys for one other one, and we lost, and we won the other 2. So, I mean, 2 for 2. So it's just a little – it just comes down to they're having the same season as us last year. They're shooting the cover off the ball. They're dominating. Their bench is doing well. Ty Jerome went off every time he goes in. The new acquisition of Hunter, he shot the ball well. He's been shooting the ball crazy since he's been there. But it all comes down to Mitchell, dude. That dude is a killer. Him attacking our whites, apparently, Luke and Sam Hauser, that's a tough one. But on that, because we could go into it, the superstars went out. Tatum had 46, 16-9. Brown had 37, 5-2. Derrick chipped in with 16, 1-5. Mitchell went crazy with second half. He ended up 51, 3-5. Garland shot like shit, but still had 20 points and 7 assists. Mobley had a pedestrian game, but the fourth quarter, he had 11-8 with 4 big offensive rebounds, finished the game with 17-12. But it comes down to Mitchell attacking Hauser and Luke. If they via the tracking data, Hauser as the primary defender on Mitchell, he went 4 for 6 for 11 points. Garland 6 for 13 for 12 points. I just don't see Sam playing he played like 30 plus minutes. He's going to be playing like 17, 15 minutes in the playoffs. And I think the weakness that they were attacking in that game won't present itself when it comes to playoff time.
Yeah, I agree with you. The biggest, I mean, you said it. The biggest thing was Hauser being out there for 30 minutes. Love Sam Hauser, awesome player.
He's the best.
Not the best lateral quickness going, and that's gonna get you beat when you play the Cavs for sure. Over and over in the fourth quarter, it was Mitchell going at Sam, and I mean that's a losing recipe in the playoffs. That's not going to cut it. So. Like you said, you need Drew out there. You need Derrick, Jason, Jalen. You need Al doing Al things and covering these guys. And even still, I mean, Cleveland can beat you. Cleveland's a juggernaut. They're awesome. I mean, they shoot the crap out of the ball, and they have guys like Donovan Mitchell, who I'm sorry, I am more afraid of him than any other player in the East,
Facts.
Bar none. So I mean. It's one of those matchups that it feels like a 7-game series. Hopefully you don't need 50 and 40 from Jason and Jalen.
Yeah.
But I mean, the positive thing for a Celtics fan is that you can get that from them against Cleveland because Cleveland also doesn't. They have matchup issues with the Jays big time. Yeah. So to me, it's almost one of those things where if you're a Cavs fan, it's like, do you feel better about that or worse when the Celtics had two of their starters out and you got smoked? You had no chance against Jason or Jalen, and you end up pulling the game out. But I don't know if it's sustainable to be down 25-3 and then be down 17 points in the third quarter. In a playoff series against the Celtics. That just doesn't feel great. So, yeah. I mean, those are just some positives as Celtics fans that I like to draw from.
Yeah, I mean, last pod, I've said this game's going to be won at the margins. Both teams, like you said, shot really well. Celtics were 48.3% from the field, 43.6 from three. Cavs 47.9 from the field. Coincidentally, 43.6 from three. It really came down to turnovers. It was 7-11. Celtics had 11. Cavs out rebounded four. Rebound the Cavs by four. So like it was just like it was kind of tough right there. Those big offensive rebounds from Mobley was tough, and you could see like if you have Porzingis in there, you don't, maybe that doesn't pop up. Maybe he gets two of them, not four. You know what I mean? Kind of give you a little word salad at the beginning. Game one, Boston wins, no Porzingis, Cavs healthy. Game two, Cleveland wins, no Brown or White, Cavs healthy. Game three, Boston wins, all healthy. Game four, Cleveland wins, no Porzingis, no Drew, and White got hurt. Cavs healthy. I mean, it's going to be a great series. I think the Cavs are legit. They're having historic season. It's just weird that Cavs, OKC, and you can put Celtics in there too, having historic season. So one of them has to go down in the East, and then we'll see what goes on. We'll talk a little bit later about maybe the Lakers creeping in and testing OKC if they end up being a Western Conference matchup. But yeah, I don't think they have an answer for us. I think it's going to be tough to have an answer for Mitchell when he's that hot. But again, I always comes down to it. Can you beat us in 2 weeks, 4 times in 2 weeks? Right. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough for the Cavs. But if there's any team in the East that can do it, it's them. And that's more about their shooting, and it's more about can Evan Mobley play up to his ability and take that next step, because he can really be a difference maker on the boards, on switching everything. I mean, you're going to switch on to Tatum a lot if you're Mobley, and can you slow him down a little bit? It didn't happen in this game, but I mean, I think it can happen. So, I think Cleveland has a legit shot. They're a legit team. And one thing to add about Cleveland, though, is recently, the past couple of weeks, they have been getting behind in a lot of games. They were down big to the Blazers. They got down big to Chicago. They got down big to us. And they're making these comebacks, and they're winning these games. But is the league starting to figure something else about how you can attack Cleveland? I don't know. Maybe it's just March and a little bit of sleepwalking, but just something to look at from a Cavs perspective.
Yeah, poke a little hole in that. I'll take that. They have won 12 straight though, so pretty crazy.
12 straight. They're pulling all these games out, but they're down 20 in all of them, and I'm not sure that's the best strategy. So the Celtics end up beating the Nuggets, end up out executing them down the stretch, which was great to see against a team like Denver, who always executes in the half court. What are your thoughts from the Nuggets game?
Finally, the strategy of playing the math game works out. Brown and Westbrook combined for 4 for 16 from three. We didn't have a Dillon Brooks game. We didn't have a Jabari Walker game. We didn't have, a crazy shooting performance from these guys that have outlier games against us, even though it happens to other teams. But as Celtics fans, we feel like it happens only to us. It was nice to see Jokic not dominate us. It's crazy though. He has 20, 14, and 9. It's a crazy stat line, but his averages are much crazier than that. The biggest thing is when they lose the Jokic minutes, 30 and 5, he was also an even for plus minus. So we had a good handle on him. As Joe said, we didn't talk about Jokic during the, leading up to the game, even though it's bullshit because everything he does, he's like the hub of that team. But I don't know. I think it's just great to see the execution, and these guys can do it against a supercomputer pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, also when Horford, unbelievable. He gets up for these big games. He was absolutely unreal. And, I mean, you saw the formula to beat Denver. I kind of, a few weeks ago, I liked Denver coming out of the West. I'm not sure how I feel about that anymore. It seems like they got a Russell Westbrook problem, and they got just an overall shooting problem where teams are just throwing so many bodies at Jokic, and he's still putting up these insane stat lines, but it's just there's not enough shooting there for them to pull these games out. They're only scoring 100, 110 points, and they're not the best defensive team in the league, so it's tough on them. So, I mean, overall, it was one of those games that you felt like year, 2 years ago, definitely, that you end up losing that game down the stretch. And it was nice that we were able to pull it out execute them, but not just offensively, because we didn't really out execute them on offense. We won it on the defensive end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And that had a lot to do with Al, high hands, like Joe was saying, and getting deflections, getting steals, getting out and running, and putting that game away. So
I mean, Hoover found his 30-year-old legs. It was great to see. 19-8. He was doing full court press. We were there. I pointed it out to you in the game. I was like, look at Al picking up full court on Jokic, and that's how you got to do it.
It's crazy. It's insane to
see Al still be able to do this at this age, and it's only because LeBron is doing it even better at his age that it's not talked about more. But Al Horford, legitimately, I mean, can you name 5 big men that you'd rather that are better perimeter defenders than Al Horford? I'm not sure you can name 5. I can name 2 or 3 off the top of my head. Bam, Evan Mobley. Who else? Like, who else would you rather guard a point guard on the perimeter than Al Horford?
I don't know. He's up there. He's definitely up there.
Right. He's top 5 at that, which in today's NBA is so important. And he's 38. It's unbelievable. It's, this is what you need in the playoffs, and it makes you feel good that when these regular season games, when you see it and you're like, okay, he's still there.
I have a quick question for you, because between Mitchell and Garland, and then Murray went crazy in this fourth, scoring 13 points, 26 overall for the game. Pick and roll, a little tough for us. And I have some stats here, right? So our lowest ratings, pick and roll ball handling defense points per possession, we're 28th ranked. Putback points per possession, 28th ranked. Flow to shot creation, 26th ranked. Transition shooting talent, 25. Transition shooting creation, 25. So those guards, they show a real problem for our defense. Now maybe we're missing guys or whatever excuse you want to give, but those are consistent throughout the year. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, my man.
I know those numbers, but small guards always give us a little bit of trouble. I wonder if some of that has to do with, like, we're trying to run these guys up to 3-point line. So like you're going to live with floaters and stuff like that. I mean, you don't want paint touches with these guys. It felt like Murray was he was getting single covered, and a lot of that was Pritchard being on the court, which scares me a little bit about how Peyton will hold up in the later rounds of the playoffs. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, those guys are also, these small guards that you named are studs as well. So
yeah,
definitely something to look out for in the playoffs. Drew's missed a lot of time, so is that point of attack defense? Does that have something to do with it? Remains to be seen.
Yeah, Jalen, though, I do want to mention Jalen kind of finding his 3-ball back. He went 2 for 4 in this game, finished 22, 5 and 8. Really love his playmaking leap this year. In the next game, we'll cover his Blazers. I guess we can go right into it. He had 8 assists in that one as well. He had 18, 8 and 8. Not the best, shooting game for him, but him playing off 2 feet has really opened up his game, his efficiency, and also his playmaking style. So I'm really happy, seeing what we get after him post All-Star break. He seems to turn it on.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't think he played great against the Blazers, but I feel like he is playing better now. I mean, the shooting numbers are creeping up after the All-Star break like they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like he's just real intentional with getting to the paint and doing what he does best. He missed a couple bunnies against the Nuggets late in the fourth quarter but it's still just getting to that spot and getting that shot off late in games is like, I'll take that shot. I mean, he's going to make it more often than he misses it, so I'm not going to give him too much grief for that. We got to get into the Blazers game, though. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable to be a Celtics fan and have a random Wednesday night where against the freaking Trailblazers, and we get 40 from Peyton, we get 40 from Derrick. First time in Celtics history. Absolutely unbelievable. And even more incredible, the first time in NBA history, 2 guys hit 9 threes in a game. I don't know how Stephen Clay never did that. It's just insane. So, I mean, shout out to those guys. It was just so cool to watch in the moment. Your thoughts?
I mean, D. White had 41, 3-2, 3-1. I mean, he's 14 for 26, 53.8 from the field, 9 for 17. I mean, he just did unreal. 4 for 4 from the line. I'm a big free throw guy. Pritchard, 43, 10 and 5. 43 and 10 is crazy for Pritchard at his stat sheet.
Crazy. 14 to 20?
Yeah. 14 for 20, 70% from the field, 10 for 16, 62.5% from deep, 5 for 5. Together, though, 84 points. They shot 61% from field goal. They shot 57.6 from three-point line and 9 for 9 from the free throw. Just their shooting chart, go look it up. It's just absolutely Celtics porn. Another crazy stat for you, Pritchard's effective field goal percentage coming off screens is 95.8%. That's just like, that's the top. That's the top. You can't get better than him. So it's absolutely crazy. I really love seeing this. You're missing 40% of your lineup versus a red-hot Blazers team.
Blazers are good.
That was a good win. The Blazers
That's what
are
I
good.
mean. They play really hard defense. As you can see, what they did to Jalen, they kind of, bottled him up a little bit, and the other guys ate. So I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's an incredible. I mean, this is why we've talked about it. I feel like even with the record being a little worse than last year, this Celtics team, barring health, is even better than last year. It's because you did not have this version of Peyton Pritchard last year.
No.
Or even really Derrick White. I mean, Derrick was unbelievable last year, but he feels like he's even taken another step where it's like these guys are just killers off the bench. I mean, Peyton off the bench, Derrick as a starter, but you know what I mean? You have your best player out, you have Drew out, you have Kristaps out. It's like you get two guys who can score 10 one game but can also get you 40 off, ridiculous efficiency. None of this Jalen Brunson, SGA,
Rifters.
40 burgers with 20 free throws. Get out of here with that.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
Unethical.
This was efficient basketball. This was ethical. This was beautiful to watch. No fouls, just buckets. That's
Another
it.
fun one for you. Per 36 minutes, 3-point makes. Beasley, 5.2. As we saw against the Detroit game, he is red hot. Absolute chopper on him. Curry, 5. And then Pritchard at 3 for 4.3. The dude is just absolutely shooting with crazy confidence.
What was that said?
3-point makes per 36 minutes. Beasley, 5.2. Curry, 5. Pritchard, 4.3 third. Just absolutely crazy. He's unreal.
And
I mean, like, locked up. 6 man years locked up.
And it's like one of those things where, like, he actually, like 2 years ago, you would have been like, whoa, Pritchard is in that category with those guys. But now it's like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, he should. That's where he should be. Like, that doesn't shock me. You know what I mean?
No,
he's a certified flamethrower. The dude, this is year 6 for him, 40% plus every single year of his career. Unbelievable. Also, just want to point out, he was I don't have the numbers in front of me, but Celtics, he was horrendous at the rim his first and second year. Like when he would he got that shit stuffed every time. He's unbelievable finishing at the rim now. He's got like that Kemba quick, like that late release where he can sneak it up there. And I mean, it's just unbelievable the way he's changed his game. And he's an elite scorer. And it's just incredible to watch. I think another one was crazy stat from that was first time in NBA history, 2 players on the same teams combined for 19 threes.
Wow.
Which was another one because Clay has the record for 14 threes in a game, which is like, so Steph only had 4 threes or less that game. It feels like the Warriors just, the Splash Brothers would have beat that at some point. But
I guess 9-1-1's way better.
Guess not, yeah.
D. White and Pritchard.
And I mean, coming off the back of Celtic City getting released, and I'm sure a lot of people have watched that, and just to see the names and the grades and all this stuff, and now it's like, bang, on a random Wednesday night against the Trailblazers, we can cement 2 guys into Celtics history that, setting records. And I'm not sure when those ones are going to be broken. They're not easy ones to break. So just fun to watch.
It really is, dude. It's amazing. Again, a little worried about Peyton in the later rounds, but getting us there, he's definitely an engine for us.
Although, I think like
against Cleveland, he's actually he's a good matchup. They play small and he can be out there. Not that he's gonna you want him against Donovan Mitchell, but he can at least probably have the foot quickness to stay in front of him, and he can stay in front of Garland and be out there when Garland's on the court.
Yeah, I'm just looking up the Peyton stuff for, let's see, anything under 10 feet, he's got 68.7 field goal percentage, so pretty unreal.
That's great.
Pretty unreal.
It's not tiny volume anymore. He feels like he gets a couple a game now that he gets to the paint and finishes over bigger guys all the time. It's unbelievable. Dude's a stud. You want to jump into? I mean, something the Celtics kicked the crap out of the Sixers again. The G League Sixers. You know, I'll never downplay kicking the crap out of the Sixers. I love it. I hate Nick Nurse. I love that team sucks and that it's just completely blown up in their face. And there's not too much to get into on it, but we can dance on their grave for
Yeah, I mean, I love nothing more than Nick Nurse angry little timeout and then running all the way down under the basket because he's so frustrated with his shit team. This was the Jason Tatum and Maine Celtics versus the Delaware Bluecoats. Back to back in March, exactly. That's the team. The biggest thing here was Tatum in the first quarter, 18 points, 8 for 10 from the field goal, 2 for 4 from 3, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. He was electric. Finished with 35. Just walked in nonchalantly to 35, 7 and 2. Shot 60% from the field, 45 from 3. He hit all his free throws. What does this guy have to do to get an actual whistle? He doesn't shoot more than like 5 free throws when he's having these great outputs.
It's ridiculous. There was one point, I'm going to bring this up. I don't know if anyone picked up on this, but Kelly Oubre, who, you know, was knocking teeth out. I mean, shout out to Derrick White, obviously. Another legendary, after his 44 performance, gets his tooth knocked out again, comes back in the game like a hockey player. Unbelievable. But at one point, Kelly Oubre, I don't know if it was I think it was when he elbowed Torrey Craig later in the game, and you could hear Tatum say to the officials, I would have got a tech for that at the line, and I died laughing because he's true. It's true. Like,
it's true.
Tatum,
it is very true.
Tatum would have got a flagrant 1 for doing that. But Kelly Oubre gets 2 shots for that. It's like, well, what are we doing? It's Kelly Oubre.
Twice.
Like, come on.
Twice.
And it's the second time he did it in the game.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. So, yeah, unbelievable. It's so frustrating that he doesn't get to the line more than he does. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, shout out Boston Dental for Derrick getting his teeth fixed today. I'm actually going there Tuesday. We have the same dentist, no big deal. So excited for that. But another, you know, this is the Bayless Shireman game, to be honest. He had 15 points, 3 assists. Yeah, the Shireman, 5 for 10 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3. I mean, it's great to see him actually look like an NBA player because the summer league, I was really questioning it. I had no idea. He's not athletic, but he knows how to use his body and like kind of move. Yeah. Right. Tatum says he has a high IQ. And you kind of saw that how he was going. He wasn't hesitant on his shots, spraying the ball. He's got a little flash to his passes sometimes.
It feels like he knows how to play. Like, and I didn't see that until last night, which was so comforting because you need some of these late round, first round guys to hit to keep this thing going for a few more years. But yeah, he just like when it felt like he finally was like, okay, I can play tonight and not be nervous about getting yanked right away. And he can put it on the deck. You know, you saw he can hit the 3, which is what his thing coming out of college was. And, you know, he's not tiny, so he's 6'7". He can just stay in front of guys, and you won't be the worst defender in the world. But, you know, he looks like a guy who can be a 9th man on a team, which is all you really can ask for the 29th pick or 30th pick, whatever he was.
Yeah, as this team gets more expensive, you need cost control guys. And Shireman, Jordan Walsh was looking good last couple of games. He shows a lot on the boards. He's handsy on defense. He gets right up in you. People don't realize how long he is with that like 7'2", 7'3" wingspan he has. It's exciting to see these guys, especially this time of the year. You got to give your main guys some rest. They've been playing some heavy minutes. Tatum played something like 33 straight games in a row, which is crazy. So he was able to take one game off, and you need these types of games and this output from these guys. Torrey Craig also played really well. He knocked down his 2 threes finally because his debut was great. Then he kind of shit the bed a little bit there, and then he's back. That's what you get from a 35-year-old buyout guy. You know what I mean? Right.
All right, let's jump into
the Lakers. We got the big matchup Saturday night. We got LeBron and Luka coming to town.
Yeah.
They've won 8 in a row. They're rolling to the 2
thriller
seed.
last night against the Knicks.
LeBron's
losing it on Stephen
A. Smith on the sideline, which I love.
I love that too.
Shout out LeBron, the old head, yelling at people, being a
keep
dad.
Keep my son's name out your mouth.
Being a dad, love it. So, what are your thoughts on the Lakers? What are your thoughts on this matchup? What are your thoughts on whether this could be a potential finals preview?
Let's not take anything from the Lakers. They're playing great ball, effort, defense, good coaching. That's what really is propelling this team. Also, I should have done the research on this, but the teams they've been beaten up on, probably not like the hottest teams, but still they're getting the wins and they're doing what they have to do. But Lucas, 32, 7, and 12 last night. He shot a little shitty, but he's doing great. And then LeBron, 31, 12, and 8. You had those two high IQ guys playing. And then Austin Reeves didn't play the best last night, but he's a great number 3. And Gabe Vincent's finding his 3-point shot now that he's going to be playing the Celtics soon. He went 4 for 4 last night. Yeah, Dalton Connect went 3 for 7. They have great pieces. They just needed good shooting. You got to be able to attack Jackson Hayes. You got to play that guy off the court and make them play small, and then use your size down low and try to do mismatches. Gabe Vincent, you got to attack. Vanderbilt, he's all right. He's good at defense. He's just not like an offensive production right now as of late. Rui Hachimura is huge, but I think we have mismatches to attack. I don't think they have answers for us, and we can always hunt Luka again. I love going at him. It's the best.
Right. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I don't know what will happen in this game, but if it's a finals matchup for us, it's gonna be tough. Like you said, you gotta just go at Jackson Hayes every time. It's Jackson Hayes. I'm sorry, fine, third big, but that's their starter and that's their main. They don't have any other bigs, right? Who's their other center? Rui?
Yeah, they play Rui at the big. Yeah, Alex Len didn't even play last night. He was healthy. And Rui Hachimura didn't play last night either. He was out. So it's just Jackson Hayes, or they go small.
Yeah, and it's like they have those
3 creators who are all awesome, but it feels like that's a good no one's a good matchup for those 3 guys. They're all great, but being able to have the wings and the guards that we have to throw at those guys, there's never really an easy matchup for any of them. Whereas it's the opposite for us, where even if LeBron turns back the clock, he's still not, the athlete he was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. And Luka's Luka. We know what that story is. And Austin Reeves is Austin Reeves. He's not going to guard anybody. And then you get Jackson Hayes out there. So it's I don't know how – I just want to see the Celtics be able to pound the paint against them. Get paint touches, spray out to shooters, because the Lakers are going to have to collapse. They're going to isolate Luka. They're going to isolate – they always isolate Austin Reeves. So now they have 2 of those guys to pick on. So it would be interesting to see how that works. LeBron's going to be LeBron on Saturday. I think he's going to just do LeBron things like he always does. But I just don't – I think it's a terrible matchup for the Lakers. If I'm a Lakers fan, I want – and I'm thinking I'm going to the finals. I do not want the Celtics. I want Cleveland, because Cleveland would have the same problem with the Lakers that they would have with us, where Luka and LeBron are big dudes. Austin Reeves isn't tiny. They just have a lot of mismatches to exploit Cleveland, just size-wise on the perimeter, really.
If depending on the health and status of everybody playing, I think it's a diamond test game for the Lakers. Last 15 games, they have the best defensive rating at 107.7. There's a lot of mismatches, like you said. They don't have answers for our.
How are you stopping Jaylen Brown if you're the Lakers?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Who? You have to guard.
If you have Gabe in there, he's going right at him, just like he does Garland or Murray. He did.
Who is Luka guarding? You know what I mean? I don't see it. And if Porzingis is healthy, it's you just have a whole nother issue there. If you do switch, you're just going to get Kristaps abusing guys the whole game anyway. So
yeah, and then on the other end, if you're playing defense on them, they're going to be ISO heavy, and you just can't overhelp. You could show, you just can't overhelp, because then once you bring 2 to the ball, those guys are passing that up. They know exactly where the open guy is. They're great court mappers between Luka and LeBron. It's going to be a great test, but we cannot lose to them because we got shit stomped last time we played them. So
yeah, well, that was a 10:30 start, and
I was in bed. So as far as I'm concerned, that game didn't happen. I never watched it, so I haven't seen that game. I don't know what you're talking about, quite frankly.
You know what, though? Last night, they had some good shooters, but they went 14 for 42 from 3. So they're going to be putting it up, too. We just got to cover that 3-point line. That's why you got to stay home on your shooters, not overhelp.
Yeah, you shouldn't be,
whatever.
Luka's going to, or LeBron's going to go for 2s all night. I guess it is what it is.
So. It was gross last night against the Knicks team? I know we keep hopping on this one, but 32 attempts from the free throw line for the next 28 from the Lakers. I do not want to see a high Austin Reeves 10 free throw attempts at the game. I don't want that at all. Let's play some ethical hoops here, guys.
Brutal. It's brutal. Yeah,
I don't want that at all. I mean, I this is why I don't want to watch Knicks Lakers ever, because it feels like a foul shooting contest. I don't know if it was that. Well, like you said, it kind of was that last night. But
yeah,
you know,
I mean, I'm okay with it if
Tatum gets Austin Reeves whistle, which he's never gotten.
No, it's part of also like Tatum's not a good grifter. He's not good at it. He just
like somehow he gets this reputation
for being a complainer, and it's like, yeah, he complains because he gets officiated differently than everybody else. Like, I'm sorry, I just cannot watch Jalen Brunson kick his feet out every time he takes a mid-range jumper. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to respect his game, and oh, this is awesome. This guy, what a great creator. Like, yeah, okay, fine. If Jason Tatum's kicked his long ass legs out every time too, he might get the line more. But I still not. I don't want to see it.
No,
glad he doesn't.
Foul flagrant.
Toss him from the game for that.
Toss him out. While we're here, everyone, give us a subscribe and like, please.
Yes, please. And the basketball gods do not reward that type of play, which is why we won the title last year, because we play ethical hoops.
Also, Pritchard kind of gave us a little good basketball gods juju by not hunting that 11-3 to tie Marcus Smart. So maybe we have it on our side.
I think we might. And on that note,
like Steve said, like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.